Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Saraswati Gaura Nityananda Gurave Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Tadariya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Sarvabhaktaya Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutavata Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Sirupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakanvitam Scha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpade Gopesha Govika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastude Tapta Ganjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Paritanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo Rama Rama Hare 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 Nama Eva Kevalam Kolam Nastyeva Gatyaranyata Madhuram Madhurebhyopi Mangalebhyopi Mangalam Pavanam Pavanebhyopi Hare Nama Eva Kevalam Jayati Jayati Namananda Rupam Murare Vedamita Nija Dharma Dhyana Pujadiya Tam Katam Apisakrida Tam Muktinam Praninam Yat Paramam Ritam Ekanam Jivanam Bhushanam Me. So we are reading from Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Jaiva Dharma. So today is very auspicious day. Today is Vyas Purnima, the appearance of Vyasadeva. So beginning of Chaturmas, disappearance day of Sanatana Goswami, disappearance day of Bhakti Charu Maharaj also. And so today in our ISKCON Goshala in the Yagashala we did special puja, Sapta Panchak Puja, which was introduced by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And especially, he told his son, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, so he established that in his Gaudiya Math to do this elaborate puja on this auspicious day of Guru Purnima, when one is worshipping the spiritual master. And usually actually, so the spiritual master, to set the example, he will not just accept worship of the disciples, but he shows his disciples how to worship all the Vaishnavas. So therefore the spiritual master himself, he is worshipping his spiritual master, and the previous acharyas is worshipping the acharyas of the four Vaishnava Sampradaya, Srila Vyasadeva and his disciples, and worshipping Panchatattva, and worshipping our Ishtadev, Prananath, Upasya Dev. So Sri Sri, Radha Krishna, and also Sisi Gaur Gadadhar, to gain entrance into the worship of the pastimes of Sisi Radha and Krishna. So we are so much indebted to Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who was very learned. Therefore he was known as the seventh Goswami, although he was not a Goswami, but he was householder. But then only the last few years, and he had 10 children. Of his 10 children, 2 were very special. 2 were very much spiritually inclined. One was Bimal Prasad, who became known as Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, the spiritual master of our Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. And then his brother, Bhaktisiddhanta's brother, Bimal Prasad's brother, his name was Lalita Prasad. So he was also spiritually inclined, but he was not 100% completely in line with the thoughts of his father, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So therefore even Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, he didn't mention much about him. And so we should try to follow our Guru Parampara, Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and the previous acharyas headed by Rupa Goswami. And then we may take shelter of Panchatattva, Gonitaya, Godar, Gadadhar. Smara Gaura Gadadhara Keli Kalam, Baba Gaura Gadadhara Pakshachara, Shinu Gaura Gadadhara Charu Kata, Bhaja Godruma Kanana Konja Vidom. You know this mantra? You heard this mantra, but you don't know. You know? Good. It's a stotram, it's not an ashtakam, it's a stotram of 20 verses. Bhaja Godruma Kanana Konja Vidom. So you know this mantra? Smaragora Gadadhara Keli Kalam?
I heard from you.
You heard from me? Okay. 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 So it's a good verse to learn. Okay. You know? Okay. You heard, but you don't know. Okay. Okay, good. It's a good verse to recite every day. So it's a verse you can learn. Chaturmas, we should learn more. And some things, of course, we cannot follow everything, but for Chaturmas we can try to increase something. Spiritual activities, chanting and learning shlokas. And for example, maybe we chant more, but then after 4 months we feel tired, especially after Kartik. And then we may again reduce a little bit. Maybe one has chanted more, then one comes back to the basic, maybe 16 or 20. And one has chanted during Kartik, especially Astakam, Stotrams. But to do whole year, not easy, because we are busy doing so many things. But during Chaturmas and especially Kartik, we should do more. And then we can relax a little bit also. But then some things which is, when we feel it is important, we may continue. And then we may do the whole life. So that is the idea of Chaturmas. And some things we may keep and then we do the whole life. So this is a good verse to learn, doing Chaturmas, and then keep it for the whole life.
What's special with this 20 verses?
What is special? Bhaja Godruma Kanana Konjavidam. I worship the moon of Godrum. The moon of Godrum is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gaura Chandra, who is performing pastimes there. Of course, he was performing pastimes all over Navadvip, But because Bhaktivinoda Thakur stayed in Godrum Dweep, so he was seeing Mahaprabhu there. Bhaja Godrum Kanana Kunda Vidum. So we, 20 verses are there. So the last line of each verse ends with Bhaja Goduma Kanana Kunda Vidum. Hari Sevaka Sevana Dharma Para Harinama Rasamrita Panarata Natidaina Dayo Paramana Yoto Bhaja Goduma Kanana Kunda Vidum. Very nice verse. Hari Sevaka Sevana Dharma Paro. Hari Sevaka Sevana. Who is a Hari Sevak? Is a servant of Hari. So we should serve the servant of Hari. Paro Dharma. This is the supreme Dharma. Here we are reading Jaiva Dharma, speaking about Dharma, Vaishnava Dharma. That is usually worshipping the Lord. But before worshipping the Lord, you have to worship the servant of the Lord. Hari serve. Hari Sevaka Sevana Dharma Para. Dharma Para. Para Dharma. Vaishnava Dharma. Nitya Dharma. Jivka Dharma. Because beginning, how we can serve Krishna? We have not seen Krishna. We have seen Krishna? No? I will see here Krishna. But not in the heart. We're still looking in the heart, right, for Krishna. Oh, you have seen Krishna in the heart? No? Sometimes in dream. Wow, in dream. Acha. But in reality, you have not seen. Okay, only deity. Okay, good. So you have to clean the heart by chanting Hare Krishna and by serving. When the heart becomes clean, then you may think, you may see Krishna. But if you're not seeing Krishna now, during the day, so then now you don't see Krishna during the day. So night time, that Krishna which you see is not really Krishna. It's just some reflection of the Lord. It's not Maya, some reflection of the Lord. If you see Krishna during the day, the night time you can really dream of Krishna. But if you don't see Krishna during the day, then during the night, whatever you're seeing, that is also not the Vastav Vastu, the real thing. It is some reflection, because even I can close my eyes. Okay, Krishna, Ganesham is there, and blackish complexion, and holding a peacock feather, a flute. So if one is still under modes of material nature, he may think of Krishna to some extent, because he has seen the deity, he has seen pictures of Krishna, he has heard about Krishna. But because he's on the modes of material nature, so his eyes are not pure, his intelligence is not pure, the mind is not pure, therefore whatever he is thinking is also not completely pure. So there's a semblance of Krishna. And when we chant Namabhas, it is a semblance of Shuddhanam, it is a semblance of Krishna. And then when we dream, so then something may be coming in the mind. So that is a semblance of Krishna. Of course, sometimes there may be special mercy, and we have, maybe for a split second, we may have or Krishna may reveal sometimes, or maybe in reveal also, or in dream also, but very rare. So usually only those who are pure, to them Krishna will reveal himself at daytime and at night time also. But if you're on the platform of Namabhas or Bhaktabhas, then some remembrance may be there, but it may not be actually fully Krishna to the fullest extent. Even if we see the deity, to some extent we see Krishna. That is explained in Briha Bhagavatamrita also. But then, if you don't have the pure consciousness, so then we don't have the pure vision, then we cannot see Krishna completely as he is. But we see the deity form, and that will help us by seeing the deity form, the consciousness, to purify the consciousness and purify our vision, and then we may see Krishna as he is, and then there may be reciprocation, then we can speak to Krishna. And Krishna will speak to us. And when we see Krishna really, and then Krishna will see us, and then we can see Krishna moving his eyes and bestowing his sidelong glance. So we try. So, Hari Sevaka Sevana Dharma Paro Harinama Rasamrita Pana Rata. So we serve the Vaishnavas and then we may be able to serve Krishna. Harinama Rasamrita Pana Rata. So we take pleasure in chanting Harinam. And then Rasamrita, so it is nectar, real nectar, Krishna Nam. So more sweet than amras. So only kind of juice, you can have some juice, ras. What was the ras today? Some ras was there? Huh? Amras, it was amras? Acha, but kacha. You made amras? I didn't get. Acha. No problem. Acha. Who were serving, they were drinking themselves the ras. Okay. ना मेरे पास आया ना है. अच्छा late आया ना. अच्छा. Okay, we came late. I was already gone. Okay, no problem. Some other ras was there. That was gur and lemon. That was nice also. And some other spice, some masala was there also. It was nice also. So different kinds of ras. But the highest ras is namras. Namras. If you get namras, then haribol. You don't need amras. You don't need the gur ras. Because how much you can drink? Amras. You can drink something, 1 cup, 2 cup. I didn't get even 1 drop, but no problem. But somebody got maybe, how much you got? 1 cup? 2 glass, wow. Acha, 1, but amras 1 glass. Okay.
In amras we have interest, but in
amras no interest. Okay, so we have to change. Or we have to become purified. By drinking amras, you will get namras. Eventually. And then you don't need amras. But still, if you get, it's fine also. So, namras. So we should try to get that ras. Namruchi namras. And then our life is successful. Natidaina, and the Harinama Rasamrita Pana Rato. Natidaina Daya Paramana Yuto. Natidaina Daya Paramana Yuto. Nati, so we should offer obeisances to Hari Guru Vaishnava, to Krishna Nam. Nati, Daina. So we should be all humble, Daina. Paripakva Dainatva. And then Daya. So we should be kind to others also. We got amras, we should give to others also. We give to others also. Who was distributing? You. So you drank and you gave also to others. Okay, good. Everyone, okay, good. Yeah. First distributing and then taking, or first taking and then distributing? First distribute and then taking. Okay, Daina, very humble, good. Good devotee. So in this way, so we should actually be engaged. Gopesh didn't get amras, and then he cried.
Nothing left.
Oh, no sweet, no amras. Okay, poor Gopesh. Okay. Okay, you didn't keep for him.
I also forget.
You forgot. He got kheer.
The altar one.
Okay. 19. Okay. So he was crying. Okay. Anyway.
I said, don't worry, I will take you for Govinda restaurant.
Who said?
I
Acha.
said,
And then, what did he say?
he stopped to cry.
He stopped crying.
And then Sunil to come and he dropped me at my home. Then
Acha.
he again come and I make a plate. सब जो बचा था उसका प्लेट बना दे तो खा लिया बोले कि गोविंदा ने दिया.
अच्छा अच्छा ठीक है. Oh, we have Mahaprasad here also, we'll give him. And he has so nice verses by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, chapter 6. So, yes, so we are reading this Jaiva Dharma, or we're hearing and we're speaking. So, but we should see that we can implement so what we have heard in our life, what he has told, what he has given. So he has given this wonderful book, beautiful verses, nice songs, like Yashomati Nandana, that is by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So it's full of ras also, this song, or we chant every day, morning, before Bhagavatam, or evening, before Bhagavad Gita, Raja Madhava Kunja Bihari, Kabijana Vallabha Girivaradhari, Yashoda Nandana, Brajajana Ranjana, Yamuna Tira Vanachari. She was such a great scholar. Although he was a householder, so he is known as Seven Goswami, but actually he was not in the sannyas ashram. He was householder, and then he was, of course, after some time, towards the end of his life, then he stayed in Puri, Bhakti Kutiya there. He had a small, beautiful place where he stayed, and he was doing Nirjan Bhajan. He was simply chanting the holy names and telling his son, Vinod Prasad, to preach. And so then he was absorbed in simply chanting the holy names, practically like a Babaji. So some say he entered also. He accepted Babaji ways for the last few years. So this to show that in the last few years of one's life, we should try to be absorbed in chanting the holy names and in spiritual activities, and so and then completely give up any material activities or secondary activities. So even related to Vana Ashram Dharma, and simply engage in Hari Bhajan, Hari Bhakti. So Nitya Dharma, race and caste. So Devidas, so the son of Lahiri Mahashai, Devidas Vidyaratna was a teacher, and for a long time he had been firmly convinced that the Brahmanas were foremost among all Varnas. So Varnashram is there, and it is true the Brahmanas are above the Kshatriya, Vaishyas and Shudras, but if they are not devotees of Krishna, then they are not foremost. Foremost are the Vaishnavas. They may not even be Brahmanas, externally speaking. But if they're worshipping Krishna, if they're surrendered to Krishna, then they are even above the Brahmanas. We believe that no one except Brahmanas are fit to obtain the highest call of life, and that unless he takes birth in a Brahmana family, the Jiva cannot attain mukti. So misconception is there. So the smarter Brahmanas, they think only the Brahmanas, they can study the scriptures, they can attain perfection. But anyone, even Krishna is saying, Bhagavad Gita, 9th chapter, so that even the Brahmanas are glorified, but then he's saying even the others, like especially mentioning also the Vaishyas and the Shudras, and even women, so they may also attain perfection. We also believe that birth in such family is the sole cause of developing the characteristic nature of a Brahmana. When he heard the discussions between the Vaishnavas and the descendant of Chandkasi, he became completely dissatisfied. He could not penetrate the statements of Kashi Sahib at all, for they were full of deep, fundamental truth. So he was there, and he had then developed some appreciation for his father and for the Vaishnavas. But then when the Chandkasi spoke, which was actually the absolute truth and which was deep, and because he has become a Vaishnav, Chandkasi and all the descendants, so then he could not accept. He could not understand the Chandkasi's and the Kazi Sahib's statements. So he was not enough purified. And he became disturbed. So because of false ego. So one has to be always careful of one's consciousness, the false ego, identifying ourselves with our present position. But we should always be humble, understand that we are the insignificant servants of Krishna. And we should respect, just like today. So we worship all the Vaishnavas, showing respect to anyone. So that we may understand that there are other Vaishnavas, they may have another mood, but they should be respected also. And we are not the only Vaishnavas. But we are actually most fortunate to be in the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, following Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the associates of Mahaprabhu. That is our great fortune. And so some pride can be there when we understand this position, but then we should also be, we should be humble also. That yes, we are very fortunate to be in that Sampradaya, but we should understand that still we are insignificant. Perturbed at heart, Devidas Vidyaratna began to think. Indeed, the Muslim race is a strange phenomenon, and one cannot make any sense of what they say. Of course, Father has studied Farsi and Arabic, and he has been studying a religion for a long time, but why does he give so much respect to the Muslims? The Hindu is obliged to take a bath in order to purify himself if he's as much as touches a Muslim. So what could Paramahamsa Babaji Maharaj have been thinking when he invited such a person to be seated in the assembly and offered him so much respect? So here we can see how Bhaktivinoda Thakur is, and how the previous acharyas, they respected everyone. So Nitya Dharma, race and caste. So because by nature everyone is the eternal servant of Krishna, but due to the modes of material nature, so one may adopt a certain kind of a religion, identify himself as a Brahmana or Kshatriya or Muslim or Krishna or whatever, but by nature everyone is a servant of Krishna or Vishnu. Therefore we should respect everyone, or should respect all religions, because it is just like a step for them to come to the Nitya Dharma. So if one is a sincere Muslim, sincere Christian, then he will become a Vaishnava also, eventually. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is pointing out here, and how the previous acharyas also. Paramahamsa Babaji, a great Vaishnava, a pure devotee, he showed respect to Muslims, because these Muslims, they had become devotees of Mahaprabhu. So and they are not on the bodily platform, so they are no more Muslims, but they are Vaishnavas. So therefore we should be above this. We take part in Varna Ashram, but we should be above, not identify ourselves as Brahmana or Kshatriya, or man or woman, or Indian. I'm Indian devotee, I'm better than Western devotees. Sometimes even Western devotees, they think I'm Western devotee, I'm better than the Indian devotees. So this we should give up, and we should see what are the characteristics of a Vaishnava, of a true Vaishnava. He's beyond his modes of material nature, he's not identifying with his body. So respecting all. So here, respecting others, respecting the Muslims, because they become Vaishnavas. And then there are no more Muslims, they're Vaishnavas. And they themselves, like the Chankazi descendants, they're not, and they're still there, because that we are in this body, and so we cannot give up. So I was born in Switzerland, so I cannot say, I don't say I'm Swiss, but still, actually, according to passport, I'm a Swiss national. If I go at the border, going to Switzerland, or coming back to India, or going out, I cannot say I'm spirit soul, I'm spirit soul, I don't need passport, you throw it away. No. At the border, you cannot say I'm spirit soul, I'm servant of Krishna, you have to let me go. Now what you're talking about, show me your passport. If you don't have a passport, you cannot go on the plane. They said, you can go home. You cannot go to Europe or America if you don't have a passport. So then you have to say, if they ask you, so you're Swiss? They say, yeah, I'm Swiss. But we know then also I'm actually not Swiss. It is just my body. So we are in this body, right? So we cannot deny the existence of the body, and we have to some extent, like aham, I. What means I? Aham. Or atma. Atma means the soul. But atma can refer to the Supreme Soul also, can refer to the consciousness, to the body also. So we are not this body, we are in this body. So then as a sadhaka, you must say sometimes, I'm pujari, I'm a priest. And then, for example, also then in the temple or some places, then you have the man one side, the woman of one side. You cannot go to the one side, hey, I'm not this body, I'm spirit soul. No, you have to be with the man. Man and woman should not mix too much. And so we have to discriminate those also, and then we have to be conscious that yes, I'm in a man body, so should not be mingling with the woman. We're spirit soul, no problem. And you embrace the ladies. We're spirit soul, no problem, no. So we are in this male body, so we have to understand. And we have to control. And we have to, so we don't identify with the body, but we are in this body, so we have to also see that and act according to Varnashram that has to be there. But then we try to be on the spirit platform and engage in pure devotional service. That very night Devidas said, Shambhu, I cannot remain silent in this matter. I shall ignite the blazing fire of logical debate and burn this heretical view to ashes. It was here in Navadip that stalwart scholars like Saurabham and Shiromani discussed the Nyaya Shastra, and Raghunandan churned the 28 truths from the Smriti Shastra. How is it that the Hindus and Muslims are now intermingling in this very same Navadvip? So Navadvip, though many years also ago, not only Bhaktivinoda Thakur's time, even before Mahaprabhu's time, it was a place of great scholars. Many great scholars used to come there and study the scriptures. Mahaprabhu's time also, before Mahaprabhu also, it was famous. Just like Benares, Varanasi is famous even now. Of course, now also so many materialistic persons are there, but still, the university in Varanasi is famous. And many are studying Sanskrit there, and this 6 philosophies of the 6 great scholars, 6 great scholars, 6 great scholars, Pandits, no?
6 philosophies there. Banaras Hindu University.
Yeah, so 6 philosophies. Patanjali, Nyaya Shastra. Kya? Jaimini is the sage, but what? So 6 scholars are there. So Vyasadev, Jaimini, Gautam, Kanara, Patanjali, and Kapil Dev. And so they have their philosophies. So Vyasadev Vedanta philosophy, Uttar Mimamsa, and then Jaimini Karma Mimamsa. That is also according to the Vedic literatures, but it is more Karma Kanda. And then Patanjali is Yoga Sutra, Kapil Dev is Sankhya philosophy, Sankhya Yoga. There's Patanjali Yoga and there's Sankhya Yoga. And then Canada is Vaisheshika, which is also kind of similar to Sankhya and also similar to Nyaya also, which is by Gautam Rishi. So there were great scholars there of these different philosophies. So like in Varanasi still, they teach that in the university. So
2 महीने पहले बनारस से आए थे, संस्कृत में बात कर रहे थे, बोले कि मुझे किसी से कुछ शास्त्र का चर्चा करना है.
अच्छा, तब से चर्चा किया. अच्छा, संस्कृत तो पता नहीं है. अच्छा,
संस्कृत नहीं पता है, मुझसे कुछ पूछे तो मैं भी बता दिया.
तो हंसते हैं.
हाँ, बोले कि अभी आप बच्चे हो.
सही बात है, बच्चे तो हैं.
तो बोले कोई है आपकी इधर जो मेरे साथ चर्चा करेगा.
तो क्या बोला?
वृंदावन बिहारी जी इधर ऑफिस में होंगे, उनसे जाके मिलवा दिए।
अच्छा, वृंदावन बिहारी वो भी बच्चा है। लेकिन वो भी सोचता है भाई मैं बाहर विद्वान हूँ, लेकिन वो भी अभी बच्चा है। ठीक है, लेकिन आपसे थोड़ा सा ज्यादा मालूम है आपका। प्राइमरी स्कूल में आप, और वो शायद सेकेंडरी स्कूल में है, लेकिन ये बड़े विद्वान है कोई। हाँ ठीक है। और इसके बाद क्या हुआ?
फिर मैं बैठ के वहीं सुन रहा था,
और
दोनों दिन का बहुत अच्छा चर्चा हुआ, और जो आए थे बनारस से वो
और
बहुत
संतुष्ट थे।
संतुष्ट हो गए फिर बिहारी जी से।
अच्छा ठीक है, अच्छा है, ठीक है।
उनको लिए फिर माला लेके आके माला पहनाया, कुछ प्रसाद भी दिया था।
अच्छा ठीक है, बहुत अच्छा, ठीक है। तो थोड़ा सा आपको और सीखना है ना, समझ लिया। हाँ, और भगवद गीता श्लोक और ऐसा भागवताम चैतन्यता सीखना है, तब बड़े हो जाएंगे। ठीक है।
ऐसी चर्चाओं में हमें मतलब पार्ट लेना चाहिए या
किसमें?
आर्गुमेंट या शास्त्र इस तरीके?
हाँ, तो पहले तो ऐसे कहते थे, तो जो विद्वान, लेकिन विद्वान तो होने चाहिए। आपके 5 श्लोक मालूम है गीता के, क्या चर्चा करेंगे, है ना? तो सीखना है, अगर कुछ सीख लिया है, इसलिए शास्त्र का ज्ञान होना चाहिए। सिर्फ मैं तो शरीर नायु आत्मा हो, ठीक है, लेकिन शास्त्र ज्ञान होना चाहिए। सबसे पहले गीता, इसलिए कम से कम तो इसलिए लिस्ट भी दिया गया, या 100 के पुजारी को दिया और मैं भक्त को दे दिया। अगर 100 नहीं मालूम है, कम से कम तो 50 तो मालूम होना चाहिए। 5 तो कुछ नहीं, एक 0 जोड़ना चाहिए, है ना? 50। भागवताम चैतन्यता, तब तो चर्चा कर सकते दूसरे से, जब कुछ सीख लिया है और प्रमाण दे सकते शास्त्र के। क्योंकि ये तो इसलिए दूसरे लोग भी आए हैं, ऋत्विक लोग, क्यों? क्योंकि हमारे भी अंदुलिम तो जो शास्त्रविद है, तो ये तो कम लोग हैं, लोग भी देखता है। प्रभुपाद कहते हैं, ठीक है, प्रभुपाद तो हमारे संस्थापक आचार्य है, लेकिन शास्त्र के अनुसार भी बोलना चाहिए हमको। और प्रभुपाद कहता है, ठीक है, लेकिन ये भी देखना है कहाँ पर कहता है और कहाँ लिखा है शास्त्र में, मालूम होना चाहिए। प्रभुपाद भी कहते थे, अगर हम कुछ बोलता है तो शास्त्र के अनुसार प्रमाण देना चाहिए हमको। तो कहाँ पर लिखा है हम शरीर नाय अपितु आत्मा है, कहाँ लिखा है? भगवद गीता में लिखा है। कौन सा श्लोक है?
दूसरे अध्याय के 22 श्लोक, 21 श्लोक।
हाँ, दूसरे भी श्लोक है। देहिन्स्मिन् यथा देहे कौरम जावरम जरा तथा देहंत प्रत्यय देवस्तथा न मुह्यते। इसके बाद हाँ श्लोक 20, 21, 22 इत्यादि, इसमें वहाँ पर हाँ ये आत्मा के लक्षण क्या है इसमें उल्लेख किया गया है। तो मालूम होना चाहिए, तब तो विवाद कर सकते हैं, अन्यथा तो जैसे संस्कृत विद्वान अगर कोई है तो बोलते हैं तो बच्चा है, तो बच्चा है। 2-4 श्लोक, कितने श्लोक मालूम है गीता के? 7-8, तो बच्चे तो है। ये कितना? हाँ 1-2, ये भी 4-5, तो थोड़ा सा और सीखना है उससे कम तो ठीक है। अभी 7-8 तो 20 तो होने चाहिए थोड़ी देर के बाद। तो अभी चतुर्मास, तो कितने श्लोक सीखेंगे आप? ठीक है, 1 करो, ठीक है। तो 4 महीने में 16 होंगे, ठीक है, क्योंकि इसके बाद तो सीखता है, लेकिन इसके बाद याद भी रखना चाहिए, इसके बाद रिवीजन करना पड़ेगा, ठीक है। उसने भी सीख लिया कुछ श्लोक, लेकिन इसके बाद भूल गया, रिवीजन नहीं करती है, उसको बोल दिया रिवीजन करो। तो इसलिए 1 श्लोक ठीक है, क्योंकि अगर 2 श्लोक इसके बाद 2 हफ्ते के बाद भूल जाता है, जो सीख लिया क्या फायदा है? याद रखना चाहिए। इसलिए 4 महीना है और 1 महीने में 4 हफ्ते, तो 16 श्लोक, 8 है अभी, है ना? तो 24, चतुर्मास के अंत में 24 होने चाहिए। मैं पूछूंगा चतुर्मास के अंत, ठीक है। और गोपेश 1 श्लोक 1 मास में कम से कम, या 2 श्लोक, कितना? 1 आंखों की दूसरे श्लोक भी सीखना है, शिक्षा से कम, 5वां श्लोक, ठीक है। इसके बाद रसगुल्ला देंगे या केक, केक इसमें चीनी है, केक में गुड़ है तो गुड़ ले सकता है, शक्कर है तो केक दे देंगे। गीता नहीं मिले सुना है, हाँ अच्छा तो दे देंगे, है फ्रिज में है, दे देंगे, ठीक है। केक मिलेंगे शाम को। और क्या है, मधु भी है, इसमें चीनी है, हाँ ठीक है, खांड है, ठीक है, अच्छा अच्छा ठीक है, तो मिलेंगे। खांड लेता है, ठीक है, तो ले सकता है, लेकिन फिर भी रात को ज़्यादा मिठाई नहीं लेना है, लेकिन ठीक है, लेकिन केक केक है केक अच्छा मिठाई नहीं मिला, आमरस नहीं मिला, आमरस नहीं मिला, नहीं रख दिया, अच्छा कुछ नहीं मिला इसलिए, ओके dokla. Okay. Anyway, tonight he will get Mahaprasad. Okay. Tonight, cake. Okay. Sweet. Oh. Gulab jamun. Yeah, everything is there in the fridge. No problem. Anybody else wants? You can get also. You want? Yeah. Okay. We'll give you also. Who? Sajan. Yeah, anyway, he's not eating sweets. Amras you got?
I took mango.
Oh, you took mango. Okay. So perhaps the teachers of Navadip have not gotten wind of this news yet. Vidyaratna applied himself wholeheartedly to his task for a couple of days. So he's trying to defeat the Vaishnavas. So we should have knowledge of the scriptures, but then devotion is also important. Vairagya Vidya Bhakti Yoga Siksha Tamika Purusha Purana Se Krishna Chaitanya Sharya Dari Kripambadiya Yasta Mahapapadye. सुना है ये श्लोक? वैराग्य विद्या निज भक्ति योग शिक्षात्मिका पुरुषा पुराण से कृष्ण चैतन्य शरीरधारी कृपम्बरी यस्त महापद्ये. You heard this श्लोक? No? No, Raghunath Das Goswami. No. Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya. Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yogam. This, I'm taking sight of Mahaprabhu is saying. He has come to give Vairagya and Vidya. So Vairagya is there. We have to be a little renounced from this material world. And then Vidya he has given. Vidya, but transcendental knowledge. Not just knowledge from the Vedas, but transcendental knowledge how to worship Krishna. And then Nija Bhakti Yoga. And then he gave his own devotional service, love to Krishna. Sikshartam, Siksha Artam. So he came as a teacher to give these instructions, how to perform Hari Bhakti, Krishna Bhakti. But then he was telling also we should try to be somewhat renounced from this world. Vairagya has to be there. And then, but also then, so Vairagya, Vishesh Rag also, but there has to be some attachment towards Krishna, and then you can give up this attachment to this material world. And so we have to acquire knowledge, but not just empirical knowledge, but then we should engage in devotional service, and then we get Vigyan, realization. So Vairagya and Vidya is there. So these are the sons of Bhakti Devi. Is a pastime also Bhakti Devi, the mother of devotion. So she has two children. These are Vairagya and Vidya, renunciation and learning. So that is there that we must have. We must learn something and we should try to be detached somewhat from this material world. But the most important is then bhakti. So we have to do devotional service under the guidance of the spiritual master. That is most important. But side by side, we try to be a little renounced, therefore we follow Chaturmas, and we learn something also by hearing from the spiritual master, by reading the scriptures, by learning some shlokas. So therefore we have to hear sufficiently, we have to read sufficiently, we have to learn. So not going to school, but then you should go in the spiritual school, in Gurukul. So, and that means you have to learn some scriptures, you have to read the scriptures, you have to learn shlokas. Reading every day? Reading every day? No? Or you're busy now the last few days, huh? Becoming assistant of a pujari, of a priest. Purohit. Okay, no, it's fine, it's okay. But you have to read also. A Purohit is a Brahmana, Pujari is a Brahmana. So, he should be Pandit. Pandit. Pandit means a learned person, one who has knowledge of the scriptures. Nimai Pandit. Small boy Nimai. He's going to school, he's the Lord. But just to teach, he went to school. He's Bhagavan, he went to school. So that others also go into school. So, of course, different kind of school in the material world. So this is necessary also in the beginning, but then the spiritual school has to be there, where we learn something from the spiritual master. So that has to be there. And then we can advance. So and then we can become, and then Kipa Vipa Kipa Nasi Shurukaina Ye Krishna Tattva Vete Sei Guru Hai. So one who knows Krishna Tattva, one who has bhakti, and then he can see Krishna. So he becomes a guru. Even he may be a Shudra also. He may be not having so much knowledge, but if he has love for Krishna, then he can become a guru, a spiritual master, and he can help others. So we should try to develop our bhakti also. But then a guru usually also, he must have knowledge of the scriptures. But then even he has come from the Shudra community, but then he is becoming guru, then he will have knowledge also. At least the essence. Sar, Vedanta Sar, the essence of the Vedic literatures, or the essence of the Goswami's books. Like Bhaktivinoda Thakur is writing, we should become Sara Grahi Vaishnav. We should take the essence of the 6 Goswami's books. So we should learn some verses which are important. Anya Vilashita Shunyam. अभी याद नहीं है, सीखना है, ठीक है. Okay, learn a little bit. So you should learn completely, and you should every day, you should take some time for 10-15 minutes to learn shloka also. And then you have to revise, you have to remember daily. Okay? Half Pandit here. Bacha Pandit. Nimai Pandit was a boy, but he was Pandit. But he was a real Pandit, because he's the Supreme Lord. But then he went to school to show others that we have to go to school. That's why he went to school. So others will go to school also. Otherwise they think, why I should go to school? But then he went to school to show that we have to go and learn something. Gangadas Pandit was the teacher. And then he went and he took initiation from Ishwara Puri. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Bhagavan, but he took initiation to show that you have to take shelter of the spiritual master, and we follow his instructions. And we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So that we have to do. So especially Chaturmas, we should do a little extra endeavor to learn more. And then what is essential, we have to remember the whole life. So we should try to learn as much as possible. And then we should remember the essential things. Like, I also knew half of the Bhagavad Gita, but then, then many slokas from Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, but always revising everything. I used to revise every day for half an hour all the slokas. Half an hour. Every day. But now I chant more. And then while chanting, I remember some of the most important ones. But then when the body is getting older, it's difficult also, because the brain is also getting older. Then one is forgetting, but still then some revision has to be done. So you have to learn something and then you have to revise something. And the books of Bhaktivinoda Thakur are there and you can learn. And songs are beautiful songs also by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So if you can learn some and then sing sometimes, that is good. While doing puja, I used to sing many of the songs of the acharyas. By dressing the deities in the temple. So, like 1.5 hours, I used to bathe the deities, and now others are first bathing and then undressing. And now, body's old, and to dress and to chant mantras also is a little difficult. But before, for 1 hour at least, I was chanting all the time, some shlokas and some songs while dressing the deities. And in this way, I can be absorbed. Because otherwise the mind will go here and there, even though you're dressing the deities. So you have to be absorbed. And to remember Krishna is not easy, but if you glorify him, then you're connected with Krishna by chanting the Maha Mantra, chanting some shlokas. Kasturi tilakam lalata patale vaksastale kaustavam nasagre varamoktidam karatale venu kankanam sarvanga hari chandanam salutam kante chamuktavali Gopastri pariveshtito vijayate gopala churamani. You know this verse?
Yeah.
No? Not you? Full? You? Achha. Okay, should learn. You learned and you forgot, so you have to revise. You should chant every day. Then you don't forget. So this is, some verses are nice, you should do every day. I chant every day. That's why I'm not forgetting. And then when you worship the Lord, you can chant, or then even when you have practice, while you chant Hare Krishna, and then in the mind you can chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. I'm chanting, and in the mind, Kasturi Tilakam Lalata Patale Vaksastale Kaustavam. And then if you know the meaning, then what is the meaning? You can say Kasturi Tilakam Lalata Patale. What does it mean? Yes, on the forehead he has tilak, kasturi tilak. So that means the musk from the deer, which is very fragrant. And that is there mixed with chandan. And it's just one dot. Just like here you have a black dot from the yagya today. So many times just the dot is there on Krishna's forehead. Vaksastale kaustavam. On Vaksastal, on the chest, the kaustubhamani is there. Which is beautiful jewel and has the calf's hoof print is there. Or sometimes they say a small calf. Nasagre varamoktidam. Here there's a beautiful pearl here. Nasagre at the tip of the nose. So sometimes you see also mostly ladies, they have sometimes here, they have a nose ring with little pearl. Sarvanga Hari Chandanam, so he's anointed with chandan. Kante Chamuktavali, so Kasturi Tilakam Lalata Patale Vaksastale So Kaustuma Nasagreva Mokpitam Kartale Venu Kankanam. Karatale, Kara means the hand, Tal means the palm of the hand. Venu, the flute is there. Kankana means bangles. And then, so he has beautiful pearl necklace also. Gopastri pariveshtito. He's surrounded by the gopis. Gopala Churamani is the crest jewel of all the gopas. The best of all the gopas. So if you chant some verses, then we can remember the Lord also if you know the meaning. And the more we can become pure, the better then we can remember Krishna. It becomes more clear. So just like winter season, sometimes there is fog. is there. Fog is there, then you cannot see much. Sometimes you can hardly see 2 meters ahead. Now our consciousness is foggy. We cannot see Krishna. But the fog is slowly going away, then you can see somebody. And there is no fog, then you can see clearly. When we go to the Himalayas, anyone has been to the Himalayas? Himalayas you have been? Not been? Haridwar, Rishikesh? You been? Haridwar? You not been? Rishikesh, Haridwar? Badrinath? Kedarnath? Jammu Kashmir. That's Gangotri. So if you go there at the mountain, so if you're a little far, you can see mountain, but you can only see the mountain. You cannot see any people, right? If you are 10 kilometers away. But if you are close to the mountain, then you can see there are some houses there, some people there. You can see, but you cannot see properly, right? If you come more close, then you can see them nicely. You can speak to them also. So now in the beginning, maybe consciousness is foggy, or we can see in distance something like looks like Krishna is there, or the associates. But you become more and more pure, then you can see Krishna. Then you can talk to Krishna. So we have to endeavor to become more and more purified in consciousness. But so we have to be enthusiastic, fixed, and patient. What is the verse? Okay, what is the meaning? Meaning? Utsaha means enthusiasm. Tatta kama pravartanat. What is this?
To engage in devotional activities.
Yes, devotional activities.
And to renounce unfavorable association
Yes.
of people, material people, and then to maintain pure
Sattva-vritti. Yeah, how to be in the association of the saintly persons.
And these are the six
Symptoms,
favorable,
yeah.
symptoms of growth of bhakti.
Yes, by this bhakti will manifest. Bhakti will become perfect. So we have to endeavor and be fixed and patient. And chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Guru Purnima ki, Srila Sanatana Goswami ki, Satchinanda Gaura Hari ki, Srila Vyasadev ki, Sri Radha Shyama Sundar ki, Go Premanande Hari Hari Bol.